Hiya! Godzilla? Huh? Look, Jet, I got one. Oh, screw this. I'm out of here. Wait, no, come back again, come back. Come back. Wait. Oh no. I'm Jet Jaguar, this is Godzilla Tail Kick. Please, you don't have to. Oh, this'll be fun. How's it, Godzilla fans, kaiju fans, collectors, and just general people of YouTube? This is Chanzilla1964 coming back to you with another figure review. This time we'll be going over the Bandai Movie Monster Series 2021 Megalon figure. First off, with detail. Starting off with Megalon's head, we have his beautiful beetle horn, which is very nicely detailed and sculpted. As we go down Megalon's head, we have his crease, and then we finally hit his head, which is very nicely sculpted. All these little divots and bumps, or not really bumps, but indents going on with the head and this little crease and his eye. I mean, Bandai did such a good job with Megalon's eye over here, with all the little detail and the little insectoid eye thing going on here is very nice. Then we come to Megalon's antenna, which are very accurately portrayed in this figure form, unlike Bandai's first attempt at this guy. Coming to Megalon's jewel on his head, it is very nicely sculpted in. So is his nose over here. Then we come down to Megalon's mouth over here, which he has two diamonds on the side over here, which is a very interesting detail for Bandai to add. The rest of the face looks just amazing with how the mandibles are sculpted in. And then you got his inner jaw over there too. So yeah, good job, Bandai. Moving down to his neck, we have his little furs over here before we hit the leaf-like collar that is ever so representative of Megalon. And then moving down from his very nicely detailed leaf-like collar, which, just to show you how nicely detailed the collar is, they have these little indents, or these little, like, yeah, I guess indents in the leaf, similar to how they have it in the head. And I mean, my goodness, Bandai did a very good job with detail on this guy. Even on the chest, you're going to find those same indents and the similar leaf-like patterns on his arms and his legs. You're going to find those similar indents that you find on his head over here, like this. Moving away from that, we have Megalon's beetle-like patterns. I guess you can call them beetle-like patterns, but I'm not sure what to call them. I'm just going to call them yellow speckles. Megalon's yellow speckles over here look very nicely done. They're very well sculpted in. You got the speckles on this side, speckles on the armpit of Megalon, and some going over to his back leading onto his wings over here. Same thing on this side. All the speckles on Megalon looks very, very good and very well done. Very, very nicely done. Before we continue down to Megalon's legs, we have his little arrows thing going on over here. That stops at the tail. That is very well done. Moving down to Megalon's legs, you have the same leaf-like pattern coming down the leg, and then leading to kind of this little ankle guard here, leading down to his foot, to his two toes, which is very nicely detailed, with his two toes being very nicely sculpted in as well. Same thing on this side. Turning Megalon around, we have his wings here, which are very nicely done in this beautiful detail, where we have his sculpted wings, and then we have the pattern on the wings that we see in the movie sculpted in as well. The pattern of the detail work here is just amazing on the wings. So glad Bandai went this route and did this. About dang time, to be honest with me, that they came out with the Megalon figure. Tail here. Tail was very nicely detailed with the same little indentations and this kind of stubby tail thing going on here, which is, in my opinion, one of Megalon's best traits. And then we have his sculpted in horns over here on the tail, which are very nicely done and individually sculpted. Moving on from detail, we're going on to paint, where paint on this Megalon figure is a toss-up for me. It's like many Megalon figures where you just have the yellow over here for the speckles going all around. Even though technically a lot of the figures I see the speckles are orange, so kind of different for Bandai to do this. And then you're going to have a similar yellow pattern over here on the back of his wings, the rest of the wings being not colored. One thing is Bandai did not put silver on the tail, which, I mean, you did the horn and the arms. You couldn't have put silver on the spikes for the tail. You even did the toes. But aside from that, you're going to have this beautiful iridescent blue on the gem here, and this beautiful shiny gold color for the eyes. As for the jaw, you're going to have this really nice silver paint, and Bandai did a very nice job painting them. No bleed over at all. And Megalon's antennas just painted this really nice, really light skin tone color, which not exactly movie accurate, but for this variation of color for Bandai to do this, good job, Bandai. Loving it so far. One thing I've noticed, and other collectors I've noticed, is that the paint on this part is a little sloppy. As you can see, there's a little smudging over here, and then there's little speckles of yellow all throughout, which, I mean, is no big thing for me, because I mean, I think they painted it pretty dang well, but I mean, it's a little sloppy, just saying. And it's not just my figure. I think Shinra Jira had a similar problem. Back to Megalon though. That'll be it for paint. I think Bandai did superb with the paint. With one thing lacking would be the silver on the tail horns, but also if they would have shaded a little brown around, because I know Megalon wasn't just this mute gray color. He had this brown overtone because he had to dig through all the dirt and all, so just something for Bandai to think about for a Bandai Premium. I don't know. And maybe some color for this chest over here, like how they did with the original. Articulation for Bandai's 2021 Megalon, similar to the original release. You got his two arms swivel here, and his legs swivel here. And then you got his head swivel. So, 5 points of articulation for this angry beetle. Now moving on to size comparison, we have Megalon standing next to his three other co-stars for his movie Godzilla vs. Megalon. We have Gigan, Jet Jaguar, and Godzilla 1973. Let's just go with that, 1973. But scaling for Megalon, if we move Jet Jaguar out of the way, he scales up very nicely with Godzilla and Gigan, in my opinion, even though Godzilla might be a little bit taller as he was in the movie, but that's okay, because Gigan was also a little bit taller. If we add in Jet Jaguar to the equation, Jet Jaguar is way too tall to be with these three. Jet Jaguar was a small guy in the film, but movie Monster Series figure form, not quite so small, even though that's okay. For play value, I think these guys work perfectly together. Movie accuracy, it's fine. It is what it is, because it's still pretty close in size and how it's supposed to be, but I digress. Okay, so when I recorded the Megalon review, I totally forgot that I told you guys that I will be reviewing this guy and Megalon together. So I will be doing his review right now very quickly in the second half of this video. Without further ado though, let's jump right into his detail. For this Jet Jaguar's detail, we have his turtleneck sweater thing going on here with his legs and his arms, as well as his neck, well, the neck over here, which is all detailed very nicely. And then we have his arrows here, which are detailed nicely as well. And the face, I mean, there's something about this Jet Jaguar's face that has me liking it a little more than the original Jet Jaguar figure that came out for Bandai, or not even the original, the 2006 release of him. And then we have his knee guards over here, which are very nicely detailed, as well as the arrow on his foot and the arrow on his waist. Then we have those same little details that we got with the original Jet Jaguar figure, where it had the little dot thing on his nose on his head for the antenna, and these little things for his feet as well, that I have no idea what they're still used for. But I mean, detail for this guy is relatively the same as the other one, but his face in my opinion, looks a lot more movie accurate, and his body's a little more slimmed down compared to the other one. It gets skinnier, so it kind of gives off this suit accuracy that I didn't really get from the original figure, which I'm liking with this guy. But I mean, that's pretty much it for the detail. And then the way that he's kind of hunched over and in this ready to fight stance is, I mean, I just love what Bandai did with this Jet Jaguar figure. So yeah, detail and the stance on this guy is awesome. Jumping right into paint. For paint, I mean, paint is okay. It's great. It's Jet Jaguar. It's movie accurate, but I liked the paint style that Bandai went with the 2006 version, which we didn't really get here, but that's totally a-okay with me. There's some sloppy spots though for the paint. Like for instance, here on the waist, we have this little splotch of silver paint. And then for the elbows, we have this little bleed over here, as well as over here. And I mean, that's actually about it for the paint mishaps for my figure, which I mean, it is what it is. Bandai, I think, still did a very good job with the paint on this guy, because I'm glad they didn't leave any paint out of him, especially since it is Jet Jaguar. And they definitely could have probably left paint off of him, which thank goodness they didn't go that route. Even though it's a little sloppy, I'm still very glad they painted it 100% accurate. Articulation for this guy is going to be the same as any humanoid action figure coming from them. His two arms swivel and his waist swivels. That's about it. Now, size comparison for this guy. I'll bring out the Megalon figures since I have them off the shelf. Now, I know I said this in the Megalon review, but I'll say it again. Size comparison for Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar is a little tall for my taste because he's normally pretty short, but for play value, I really like how he's sized up with these guys and how they look together. Because I mean, the way Jet Jaguar and Megalon look together, these 2021 Bandai movie monster series versions, they look really good together. And by the way, yes, I did repaint Megalon. See, I added the orange over here, which is definitely something I forgot to mention. That the lack of paint over here for Megalons is speckles, and over here, kind of a bummer, but I mean, it's not really a big thing because for the paint, I added paint, but it's slowly scuffing off because of how the arm rubs against it, which is, I mean, I can see why Bandai didn't paint it now, but it is what it is, and I'm totally fine with it. But scaling, like I said, I think for play value, it's perfect, but for movie accuracy, Jet Jaguar is a bit tall. But it's cool because, I mean, it's Jet Jaguar. He's awesome. That's all I gotta say. Jet Jaguar is awesome, both as a character and in this figure form. But time for my question of the day. Do I recommend you guys pick up these two figures if you have the chance and if you see them? 100%. These guys not only look great together, but they are, I mean, we are starting to see this resurgence of Showa Godzilla figures, which is great and it's awesome. And these two are definitely Showa figures that you guys need to have in your collection, especially these renditions of them. But with that being said, this has been Chanzilla 1964. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you like what you see on the channel, please do be sure to subscribe. So close to 30 subscribers, which is actually pretty good, all things considered, since I started this about 2 months ago. So I want to just thank you guys, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome for what's coming next, especially hopefully with me being able to review the Kakaida figures, and I believe we're getting a Gorosaurus at the very end of this year, so very excited for that. But this has been Chanzilla 1964. Till next time, guys. Peace.